Greetings. This is the 1st of December 2017 and we are nearing Christmas. Now, 1914, around this time of the year, something very strange and wondrous happened in the war. I will post a link below, but basically what happened is that the enemy sides, who were physically very close to each other, came even closer to each other. On one side, they started to sing Christmas songs. And what is really worth pondering in that is that music, having air as the medium, knows no boundaries. Music doesn't create or have enemies. Music is not dualistic, it's not polarizing, it is the opposite, it is harmonizing, and basically most music is about reaching harmony. So this Christmas song, whether German or English, traveled to the enemy camp and was heard there, and the enemy camp also started singing. And due to this harmonizing effect of music, some soldiers dared to stand up from their ditch and show themselves, with the danger of being shot down. And the other camp noticed that they don't have any weapons. So instead of this war energy, instead of this enemy energy, there came to be a musical, humane spirit of, we are humans. We are supposed to shoot each other down, but actually we don't feel like it. And besides, it is Christmas right now. This was the so-called Christmas Truce of 1914. Now we have 2017 and a lot of wars going on, obviously in our world as well. No world wars, thank God. However, another kind of war is going on very much, which is not looked on as war. I call this war seeds. It is most often called conflict or polarization, and it goes on in political fields, in religious fields, and not least in gender fields, if you're to use that word, or more straightforward, between men and women. And that kind of war is partly not recognized as war and partly okay. And why is it okay? I believe because we people have a side. I do not agree with those who say man is a violent being. But we have a side within us that enjoys, if we are frank, and I think we should be frank, that enjoys conflict on different levels. It can be very small micro conflicts, like having a friendly little argument or friendly little just discussion about a certain subject. You see it your way, I see it my way, and then we fence a bit and see who will win this discussion. It can be fun, it can be stimulating, and it can also grow. It can move from this level that I call agon, which means battle or trial of strength, to more antagonism. And that means higher tension, more aggressivity, higher voices, more shouting, more invectives. And then we are actually moving towards war. Now, if you are a peacenik, I term myself peacenik or peace walker, which means somebody who doesn't only want to talk peace, but walk peace. Then I believe that understanding about what I call war seeds, there can be different names for it, is essential. You cannot really get around it, because without that knowledge that you have, that I have, war seeds within me, within us, we are just going to devolve into the popular game of finger pointing. And finger pointing is somehow a very, very basic element of war. It's very much what keeps war in place. Pointing at the others. It's your fault. You did something wrong. And totally subtracting myself from the equation. But what did I do? What did we do? No, it's their fault. And finger pointing is one of our very, very favorite games. So, understanding finger pointing, understanding our inner war seeds, and trying to stop watering them, I think is an essential element of working for peace, of walking for peace. What the soldiers did in 1914, soldiers who were supposed to kill each other, and certainly they made higher general very angry. They didn't do their job. They weren't supposed to play football and give each other a Christmas present. They were supposed to shoot. Now, when I think of today's situation, one aspect of what goes on now is the gender war, the war between men and women. And as you all know, if you haven't lived in a cage lately, we have the Me Too campaign. And I believe it's good to look through veils and to unearth old sins and make things visible. However, Me Too seems to me to be handled in a very clumsy way, namely in a very warlike way. It's a lot of finger pointing. And even if the cause is good, it can end negatively by using, so to say, polarizing means, by using finger pointing basically. It's the fault of men. I hear practically nothing about that women can be faulted. And if I say women are to be faulted, then I'm also going into finger pointing. And I don't want to do that, because I have somehow realized that finger pointing doesn't lead forward. But somehow we need to get away from this polarization of women being angels and men being oppressors, which comes very much from a popular ideology that has won very much ground and acceptance, and which is, if you look at it, very much antagonistic. You know what I'm talking about, the ideology starting with the letter F. I would not call it feminism, I would call it enemism, when it takes these finger-pointing antagonistic forms. So this is my Christmas message for you. And when I say you, I am right now extracting enemists from that word. Because if you mainly want to finger point, if you want to shout and scream and call other people names, then what I say doesn't matter anyway. So I'm talking to you who value peace and harmony and can see the value in singing together, and those who also can introspect, who can say that yes, I have good sides, I also have bad sides, and you have bad sides, but you also have good sides. So we are not that different. We are not angels, devils, which is very much the dichotomy that is talked about by animists. So my wish for Christmas is that we have a repeat of the 1914 Christmas truce in the form of a 2017 gender truce. Let's have women and men meeting instead of being enemies. Let's sing Christmas songs together. Let's make music instead of shooting at each other. That is my Christmas wish for 2017. All the best.